In the news today.
Okay, well, I'm sure you'll see it in the news very soon. Cesspools like TYT Sports have already declared Favre guilty, while more reputable outlets, if that's such a thing, use more careful wording. But the TYT video is disgusting in how it's formatted. It looks like it was made by amateurs with a vendetta against Brett Favre. Well, I guess all the money that the owner has been embezzling himself didn't go to funds for making professional videos. But anyway, there's been no response from Brett Favre when this video was made, when the TYT video was made, but yet they had already come to the conclusion that he was guilty. But anyway, in the state of Mississippi, there has been some spending waste in the DHS department specifically. A total of $94 million was misappropriated. Now, while that sounds like a big number, you should know that only $4 million of it is going to criminal court. Unfortunately, wasteful spending by government officials isn't illegal on the surface. Otherwise, we'd have to arrest Congress, and only $4 million of it, though, can be attributed to what we'd call unlawful acts. But why is Brett Favre mentioned in such a small investigation? And believe me, folks, this is small time compared to what your governor, senator, and congressman are doing at this very moment you're watching this video. Oh, what was that? There was another $1 million they just put into a mansion or a house or some jet plane or something. There it goes. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Now, Shad White, who is the lead auditor of this situation, says that Favre Enterprises was paid $500,000 in December of 2017 and $600,000 in June of 2018. The payment to Favre Enterprises was made in exchange for services by the principal of that company, being, of course, Brett Favre himself, for 3 speaking engagements, 1 radio promotion, and 1 keynote speech. Now, he was also contracted to appear at several events and provide autographs for marketing materials, while every article I've found decided to omit important information. I went to the horse's mouth, Shad White, the lead auditor, on his take of what was going on. Now, what you're about to hear from the lead auditor was an interview given on May 5th. So reporters who posted this and made videos like the ones I was referring to had access to this interview and had access to all the documents because this file actually started months ago. So they could have researched like I did. It took me 5 minutes to find everything about it and what's going on with it. But I'm going to let you hear from him first, and then we'll hear from Brett Favre himself.
The payments made to Brett Favre, he's not under indictment, is he? Or what's the status of that?
No. To back up one level of generality, we see a lot of money flowing from these subgrantees, MCEC and FRC, to various entities, and we found no proof that those entities were told that they were being given TANF money. So, there's a lot of folks out there who probably had no idea what pot of money they were getting. And I'm not saying that's the case with Favre Enterprises or Brett Favre, but I will say that we found almost no documentation that the ultimate recipients of the money knew what they were getting. And unfortunately, in this case, when we did more research and started looking, we found that it was impossible for some of those services to be performed because Brett Favre was not at the events that MCEC said he was at. He was not speaking at the same time that MCEC said he was speaking in order to earn that money. So we had to question that cost.
They were buying vehicles, they were hiring family members, they were holding events like parties and things like that had nothing to do with the state of Mississippi as far as legitimately helping anyone or what the money was for. They were just using that money to do those things. So they hire Brett Favre for whatever it is that they're trying to do. And of course, his company and his agent has an appearance fee, and he probably thinks it's some kind of sporting event. Otherwise, why would he charge? It definitely wasn't presented to him as a DHS charity. I highly, highly doubt it. Now, I don't know for sure, but I highly doubt that if he got approached by a charity, that he would charge them $500,000 and then $600,000. I'm not saying he would do it either, and he doesn't have to take every charity that approaches him. But if he is going to agree to it, I doubt he would take money like that for that. The guy is worth over $100 million, and something this small would ruin him. Now, just for the record, I'm not a Packers fan. I defend players. I defend players when I think they're being railroaded and when people are taking advantage of their fame and their success and they're wanting a piece of that. And in this case, it looks like these guys just wanted the celebrity who was Brett Favre to endorse whatever they were trying to do, and they just used DHS money to pay him, which has nothing to do with Favre. But you'd still get named in an article, and then they'll write things like embezzlement and crap like that. And then the public has already made their opinion about you and informed it and shaped it. And this is why the news is so dangerous. This is why I warn people about it, not just sports news, but regular news in general is very dangerous. And you have to investigate everything. Never believe what you read first and never believe what you see first. The truth is what I'm interested in. If Brett had done something like this and I thought he was guilty of it, I'd be utterly disgusted. Absolutely cannot stand fraud. I cannot stand people stealing from others, and I cannot stand people taking advantage of other people. I hate it. Elected officials in this particular case who are stealing from DHS money, which is TANF money. In each state, they're given TANF money to spend on families who need immediate assistance. So that money is supposed to go to them. And these people were spending that money. And I'm going to put their names at the bottom of the screen so you know who they are, the ones who are guilty. I mean, there's a lot of money flying around, like Shad had said. They even paid some appearance fees and the similar type of payments. Ted DiBiase, who in the WWF, back when it was called the WWF, he was known as the $1 Million Man. He's a very famous guy. So that would be an important figure that they would want to come to an event that they want to promote for God knows what reason. Who knows? I'm sure that will come out later. But as far as a criminal court, only $4 million is up for review. The rest of it is going to be a loss for the state of Mississippi, unfortunately. That's $90 million that could have gone to families who needed help. If you ask yourself, how come these people are always in charge of this kind of money? It's because, well, first of all, they don't start out. Most of them don't start out a criminal or wanting to steal. A lot of people go into it thinking they want to make a difference. You know, when we're young, we're idealistic and all that. And then something changes in you and you realize, okay, it's either I play ball or I don't have a career. And most play ball. So, and by the time they're at the level of senator, congressman, things like that, they're so corrupt. They have so many webs weaved all over the place. They have no idea what's up and down. It's impossible. So, but from everything I can tell, Brett Favre was not knowing of the funds. This was no different than anybody else, a card company, let's say Upper Deck, who makes, football cards, them approaching him to autograph some stuff. And they sent a payment of $500K, right? To Favre and to his agency and to his company, it's no different. It makes sense that they would want him, but just because they paid him doesn't mean that he's guilty. But because he's got a famous name, everyone knows about this, and nobody's talking about the people who did it. The people who were actually stealing. No, we're talking about Brett Favre because it's Brett Favre. This is from Brett Favre's Facebook page as of 1 hour ago. My agent is often approached by different products and brands for me to appear in one way or another. This request was no different, and I did numerous ads for Families First. I have never received monies for obligations I didn't meet. To reiterate Auditor White's statement, I was unaware that the money being dispersed was paid for out of funds not intended for that purpose. And because of that, I am refunding the full amount back to the state of Mississippi. I have spent my entire career helping children through Favre for Hope, donating nearly $10 million to underserved and underprivileged children in Mississippi and Wisconsin. It has brought a ton of joy to my life, and I would certainly never do anything to take away from the children I have fought to help. I love Mississippi, and I would never knowingly do anything to take away from those that need it most. That's immediately what I thought about. I'm like, okay, so Brett does all these charities and all of a sudden puts his entire life legacy on the line for $500K and $600K. I mean, come on, man. Never know. Maybe we may be shocked and find out something bad happens, but I really, really doubt it. I'm about 98%, 99% sure that he's innocent of this. I think it's awesome that he's given the money back, but at the same time, it's a no-brainer. You've got to give the money back. You have to. So that's exactly what I would do. It's exactly what you guys would do, any of us. You find out that money was meant for families who needed it, oh my gosh, no thank you. Give that to them. Give that money back. Now they're going to lose that close to 90 million. You're not going to be able to get that back. The auditor, Shad White, that you guys heard from earlier, he said that his office received $500,000 from Brett Favre yesterday, plus a commitment that Favre will repay the other $600,000 in the next few months. Shad White says, "I want to applaud Mr. Favre for his good faith effort to make this right and make the taxpayers and TANF families whole. To date, we have seen no records indicating Mr. Favre knew that TANF was the program that served as a source of the money he was paid. The only problem they saw was that upon a cursory review of those dates, auditors were able to determine that the individual contracted did not speak, nor was he present for those events. So that comes up as questionable. Doesn't mean Favre is questionable. It means that those people saying that money went to that is questionable. It's a different thing, completely different thing. So anyway, the main perpetrators involved in this is a man named John Davis. But guys, this is happening in every state in the union. And if you don't believe that, I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. Fortunately, this is how it goes. I guarantee you now that every athlete out there is going to be double, triple, quadruple checking people out who pay them for things. But even then, it's not foolproof. Because there's sometimes you just can't know. But if you're getting paid for an engagement, look them up. And if they work for the government, you run that by somebody in the government, someone who's a different program, a different group. For example, this auditor, Shad White, his whole job depends on auditing. He gets promoted for this. So you've got to reach out to people like that and see what they think and get their opinions first. That's what I would do if I was a famous athlete like that. Okay, well, that's it for today. I got interviews coming. I've got season 2 of the Brady Hate Saga and Basement Butthurt coming. And I've got a video coming soon, actually, that you guys are going to love. It was a hard project, but it's finally done. I'm really, really happy with it. And I thank all y'all for y'all's support. And we're going to get this channel growing and get things going more and more. Now, we're going to make a lot of enemies because I call out famous sports people. I call out channels and companies who do wrong and have shady practices. So it's going to be a fight. If you care about the truth and you want honest reporting, just let's keep doing this.
Thank you so much for watching Von Allen Sports. We hope you like and share the video, and to make sure you don't miss a thing, click the subscribe button on the bell icon to be notified.
Von Allen Sports.